a lot of the, how you say, the theology. See, like even me, me personally and Josh, that's why Muhammad didn't bring those lessons over here. You know, he got them lessons out of San Quentin. You know?
Who's that, Elijah?
No, Mr. Muhammad. Master Prophet Muhammad.
Master Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah. Right. Wallace D. Muhammad.
Okay.
He wasn't from Arabia.
Wallace Dean.
No, not Wallace Dean.
I thought you said no, because Wallace Dean.
W.F. Muhammad.
W.F. Muhammad.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, W.F. Muhammad. You know, I mean, it's just like even like his birthday, like the birthday, they Savior's Day, right? Savior's Day. February 26th. Right, it's supposed to be his birthday.
Right.
All right, now a Muslim coming to America, right? His birthday goes by Islamic calendar, right? The difference between the Islamic calendar and the Gregorian calendar that the Western world goes by, the Islamic calendar moves. In other words, like that's why Ramadan goes up about 14 days every year, right? So for him to pick a birthday, February 26th as his birthday, don't make very much sense for a Muslim just coming to America. And so where would he get that birthday from? It just so happened that his hustling partner, Edward Donaldson's birthday was February 26th. Two of them got busted and went to San Quentin, you know.
And so that's where he got this knowledge from.
That's where he got this knowledge from a black man that who just left there and left it in there. Named, they used to call him the Black Genius. His name was Lucius Lehman, Lehman. Lucius Lehman. He was called the Black Genius. He was in there for murdering a guy that the guy thought he was messing with his wife. So the guy pulled up on him, he wound up killing the guy, and so he did the time in San Quentin. And while he was there, you know, he used to teach. He was one of these guys that came, nobody really knows where he came from, right? Lucius Lehman. But he was teaching Islam, you know.
Wow.
And, I know when somebody even sees us, they're going to say, oh, let's see a lot with that.
No. Well, you know what? Okay, so you're putting into question the said story of W.F. Muhammad. Right, the question of him coming from
it's just based on just like
being born in Mecca and Arabia.
Yeah. Right. That's a story. That's part of the fairy tale that most religions have. You gotta have a story. You gotta have something that's gonna attract the people. Just like imagine if Mr. Muhammad had said that Lucius Lehman was a black seed, right? Now here you got people that's into Christianity with a white Jesus. You ain't putting a black seed's picture on that wall. You ain't gonna get no followers. Right. You ain't gonna make no money that way, right? You know. So here you put almost a white looking man, but say he black. Say he's Allah. You know. Right. I mean, it's like it's a story. It's a
Right. Okay.
It's a religious belief.
Okay. Well, that's something to study for people who are watching. Now, where would you recommend they go look to actually
find that story? To find. There's a few books on that. He said there's one that was written by a Jew searching for Master Prophet Muhammad.
It was a Jew who wrote the book called Searching for Master Prophet Muhammad. So he was this Jew who authored the book was fascinated enough.
He's a Muslim now. He's born Jewish.
He's born. Wow. Okay. So he was fascinated enough.
Did the research.
What kind of?
That's the name of it. Searching for Master Prophet Muhammad. You could Google it and look it up. It's like the book is like, I think they won almost $1,000 for the book. It's like it's about 1,000 pages long.
Wow. Do you own that book? Do you own it?
I read it.
You read it. Okay.
I read it. I got like clippings from it.
Okay.
You know, I studied. Even then there was another one that speaks about when he came over here and got which I got documentation too. That when he came over with his brothers, just like today. Look at today, right? When you go out there and you see these vendors selling or whatever they selling, halal trucks and all like that.
Right.
Well, when the Indians, meaning East Indians, came over to this country in the late 1800s and stuff like that, when they came to America in the early 1900s, that's how they came. They came as vendors and stuff.
Right.
And they were selling different things, and
merchants.
Yeah, merchants. But when I say street vendors, that's what I mean more than merchants. They had their little trolleys. Well, they were selling tamales back at that time. You know, like that was the big thing, tamales. They get into populated areas and sell their tamales.
Right,
he was one of them. Even now, bits and pieces, Mr. Muhammad tells about it, him living in Oregon. You know, he lived with a white family there, which happened to be his wife and family that he made in Oregon and stuff. You know, him, he had 2 brothers and stuff. You know, I mean, like, to me, it makes everything more real.
Right.
You know, when you start dealing, it's almost like with Christianity, Jesus dying on the cross, something that never happened. You know, they don't teach that in Islam, right? You know, but it builds up a religion. Same thing with the Nation of Islam and that thing. You know, a lot of the teachings, and the model, because that's Raw Muhammad. He liked what's the man's name? Judge Rutherford. You know who Judge Rutherford was?
Who's that?
Judge Rutherford was the head of the Bible Tract Society, right? He used to have a radio broadcast in the 30s, right? And he changed the Bible Tract Society into the Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, the Jehovah's Witnesses grew from the Bible Tract Society. And a lot of that stuff, 1914, even breaking down the American population into 5%, 10%, 85%, came from the teachings of Judge Rutherford.
So, wait, Judge Rutherford?
Judge Rutherford, he's the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses. He's not the founder.
Yes,
Charles Russell, Taz Russell founded the Bible Tract Society. Judge Rutherford was the second one in command. He's the one that changed it from the Bible Tract Society to the Jehovah's Witnesses. If you listen to a radio broadcast of Judge Rutherford today and close your eyes, you think he was Elijah Muhammad talking. Real.
That's interesting. So what does that say about the teachings of the 5%, though?
Original. When Allah came, Allah did away with religion to us. He didn't teach us religion. You know, he taught about God in us, the G in us. You know, taken from the human families. You know, he didn't teach us no religion. You know, he said religion is false. And see, that's the same thing with, you know, you take whether it's the Nation of Islam, whether it's the Jehovah's Witnesses. If you don't believe in some of the things that they teach, then you can't be a part of that religion. So you're forced to believe that. You're forced to stand on things, whether they logical or not. Same thing with a Christian and stuff, you know. If, you know, whether you say, damn, that shit sounds like, you know, it can't be. You got to believe it if you want to be a part of this. And same thing, you know, Nation of Islam. You got to believe Master Prophet Muhammad if you want to be part of this. You know, you can't say you're a member of the Nation of Islam and don't believe Master Prophet Muhammad is Allah. You know, for real. I mean,
well, I see him as a man. He was a man who was from, according to my study, he was well studied. And
that's another thing too.
And taught.
You ever see any of his letters? You ever see anything? He wrote a couple of letters.
He wrote a couple of letters. I did see a couple of his letters that he wrote.
Now, here we go. Mr. Muhammad said he studied in 10 universities all over the world and all that kind of stuff, right? But he wasn't that good at the English language. He didn't know the difference between T-H-E-R-E and T-H-E-I-R. And little things like that. When you start reading how he wrote,
he had poor grammar.
Poor grammar, you know, I mean, being that so-called educated, you can't have that, because I don't know too many educated people like that, that has that type of grammar. I mean, even in myself, I fell out with that brother understanding over that kind of job when we was writing that book. You know, because he wanted to put it in grammar, like, you know, because he was a school teacher. He was educated, you know, so, but the language we speak don't have good grammar at times. So
You mean like Ebonics, or you mean the
Ebonics, or however, even
in the lessons?
Even in the lessons, you know, you can't.
Mr. Mohammedans have good.
He didn't have great grammar. He only had a third grade education. His greatest thing to me, just like Allah, was the simplicity.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.